Okay, so real quickly, I'm going to go over why the Confederate flag is not a symbol of racism. First of all, this is not the actual Confederate flag. The actual Confederate flag had many different versions, none of which were the flag we all know today. Okay, this was actually the battle flag for the Army of Northern Virginia. For whatever reason, this is the only flag that survived the Civil War, and over time it was adopted as a symbol of the South and of Southern pride. So technically those who call it the Confederate flag are wrong. And I know I'm calling it the Confederate flag, but that's just because you guys know what I'm talking about. But technically I'm wrong in calling it that. So moving on. The Civil War was fought over states' rights. I know, it was fought over slavery. Yes, that is true. But the big picture was states' rights. And if you don't believe me, you just need to look through history, because the South was always a proponent of states' rights. They were always anti-government. One of the biggest events I think that is overlooked that proves this point is the nullification crisis. And that was dealing with the Tariff of 1828, which put a tax on imported goods. And the South thought that Andrew Jackson was going to get rid of this tariff. Well, when he was elected, that didn't end up happening, and he actually signed the Tariff of 1832 into law, which didn't do much to fix the Tariff of 1828. So South Carolina ended up nullifying the tariff because they deemed it unconstitutional, and Andrew Jackson sent military force into South Carolina to enforce the tariff. Now, eventually, the crisis was averted, and nothing happened. But historians say this was the closest we were to civil war before the actual Civil War. Now, what if the Civil War started over the tariff? Okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And it goes to show you that states' rights was always the issue in the South, whether it started over slavery, over tariffs, taxes, whatever. It was states' rights. So my final point is that it's just a flag, okay? People are too thin-skinned nowadays, and they get offended by everything. If I think the Confederate flag is a symbol of the South, of Southern pride, of rebellion, and I don't intend it to be racist, pro-slavery, then it's not, and I have the right to think that, okay? Those who oppose the flag, they can't just assume that everybody who flies it is a racist, bigot, pro-slavery, whatever. They need to take into consideration what that person's intent is and what they perceive the flag as. Because there's a lot of good people who fly the Confederate flag who aren't racists, okay? So that's my point. I want to know what you guys think, though. If you have any other topics you'd like me to talk about, leave them in the comments below. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great day.